everybody knows that I love to drink. This one right here is hard to drink because it's so many liquors. He put awesomeness in here. It's called the 7 C's. It's not even on the menu. It's a secret drink. And now him and I are friends, and he's gonna come and hang out with us tonight, maybe. Hey, let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's Neverland Nate coming at you live from Neverland Nate's Enchanted Tiki Porch, wearing a Drunk Disney Dad shirt. That's what I am. I am a Drunk Disney Dad. Thank you, everybody, for the support this week. You've all been great. A lot of people have reached out, got magnets, swizzle shirts, and stuff like that. And just so you know, look across the bottom. We are still going to run this promotion through the end of tonight. $30, we do a shot. You get a shirt. You get a swizzle. Which, check this out. If you haven't seen these swizzles yet, I put a glow cube in my vodka soda, and the acrylic, it actually glows through. First, let me bring in Disney Dave so we can talk about this stuff together.
Hey. So
Hi, Dave. How are you?
My Drunk Disney Dad shirt is in the wash, as is much of, well, no, it's not in the wash. It's in a pile of dirty laundry from me getting back from Disney.
Right, you literally just got back early this morning, late last night, right?
Late last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Jetted,
right,
but I love those acrylic swizzles. I love how they glow.
Yeah, man, check it out. So again, this is just a glow cube from Trader Sam's, and yeah, it changes. Special thanks to Brendan Gregory, who made these for us. He does cool stuff like that. He's making coasters too now. Let's show you the coasters he made. So check this out.
Yeah,
he burned these, and he can do pretty much anything you want. Comes with a nice little stand, right?
It looks like a space station. Don't show it to Elon Musk.
I would never do that. So again, we got shirt swizzles and magnets. We still have a few of these magnets left. They do stick to metal. My computer is not metal, but
they will stick on my car.
It does. It does stick to the car very well. We have these right now, and then we have ones that we just ordered 150 more. That are a little bit bigger, but oh boy, I've got to do comments. Okay, so as you can see, hey, Darren,
I'm looking. There's Pache Bucheras. I can click comments.
Pache Bucheras is here. Hey, Pache Book, please tell us your name or register. Hello. Oh, you're doing comments, Dave? Okay.
I can. Did we say? I don't know where you stopped, but we could say, hey.
I did. I said.
Check it.
Yeah.
It's Darren.
Yeah, man. They actually are pretty badass. So yeah, Dave just got. Oh, so we have Mr. Zach tonight. Zach is here. Hi, Zach. Say hi, because now we can't hear you.
Hello.
Okay, now I can hear you. All right.
Okay.
Hello, Zach.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
See, I have ear pods in, so I have no idea how loud I am or anything like that. But so we are missing someone tonight. We can hear you. We are missing Sean tonight, and in the Drunk Disney Dads chat at about 7:10, Sean piped up and said, "Hey, can I bow out tonight? I'm having some tummy troubles." And I said, "Of course you can." And we always have Zach, who loves to come on the show, and we love having Zach on because he gives a lot of insight about Disney. He used to work at Disney. We went to Boathouse today and had lunch. But
brunch.
Sean did say brunch. Sorry.
Hey, real quick, Nate.
Yes.
Michael Hasso was saying, anyone try Disney Plus yet? And I'm going to go with Michael, we're going to talk about it in just a little bit because I spent the week testing the Genie in all sorts of
Dave
formats.
Was down here all week, just got back last night. So we're going to go over that in just a few minutes. I was able to catch up to Dave at the parks. When I got out of work here, I would run over to the parks and meet up with Dave. And I did see a lot of that going on. But I want to tell you that Sean did say, what did you do to me last night? And I said, well, it was your party. What's up? Who was that?
Okay. It's his party. He'll throw up if he wants to.
It was his party at his house, at his bar. And he said, what did I do? So I said, you were the bartender and then you ran away. So here was Sean after his first costume change. He decided to dress up like his wife, Carrie. Literally put on her clothes.
That is amazing.
He was Beetlejuice first. And just to follow up, when Sean said, what did you do to me? I did nothing. That is you. And I don't know what you were doing shots of. I think it was Smurf balls or whatever that they were calling them. But yeah, there is Sean.
What's in a Smurf ball?
I don't know. Smurf Smurf
All
stuff.
right, hey guys, I just noticed we are 5 minutes and 45 seconds into this show, and we have not done a shot.
We haven't done the shot. Hold on 1 second. I can
That
help
is
you
just
with
that
that.
is just
I had
delinquent.
to open up another bottle of Scotty.
I just opened up a fresh bottle of Hendrix.
Dude, you're gonna have to help
nice,
Scotty. We're gonna need more. We're gonna need to get another box again. Everybody, Maryland, handcrafted Scotty's vodka.
Maryland's
10 years
finest.
for Jack. Now yours to enjoy.
You know what? I'm using my glass that my wife got me for my sober date this year. It says
Right.
5 years clean, 2016.
Who is What's Up? Had a great time in Disney with you. I'm assuming that's Joe.
It could have been a Joe.
It could have been Joe, but usually he's on it. Usually he doesn't touch a Buffouzère. So I will be drinking.
Unless it was Daniel, because it is Joe.
My rum sipper. Hey Joe, what's up, buddy? Yeah, it was great catching up with you too. We got some great pictures right outside
Jeep
of
Joe.
Mexico. Yep, to Joe.
All right, ready? To Joe.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I might need to pour another one of those.
Whoa.
I'm drinking bum.
Whoa, I've never had straight gin. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you literally just drank a pine tree.
No, I know. Now,
it's like a pine cone. What the?
Yeah,
Oh.
It's Pine Sol. It's Pine
I had
Sol.
Sprite to
It's
put with
alcoholic.
it, but y'all went. I was listening to the fireworks. Ow, my brain.
Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's 8:07. So once again, just in case everybody that's joining late, this was Sean's second costume last night. This was only at like 8 o'clock too, and we ran pretty late till about 1 o'clock, and this was probably closer to like 10:30 or 11. So
right.
But that's why Sean is not with us. He decided to work at an ice cream factory tonight, and he will be making cones of ice cream in his bathroom. So yeah, we want to talk about Genie and Genie Plus. So if you haven't updated your My Disney Experience yet, if you go ahead and do that, instead of it saying My Disney Experience now, it's going to be Genie.
And say 50.
And say, yeah, it says 50. So it actually does look cool, the app itself. Why not just the people who haven't done
yeah.
That's me. Hi, Nate. No? Hello, Nate.
Yeah,
it says hello, Nate. There it is. R2D2. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, what Genie's gonna? So what? You summon Disney Genie, and it launches, and you say start now, and it goes all crazy.
You don't
like
have
this,
to actually say
like,
I summon thee.
Right. You schedule a park visit. You tell them what your favorite rides are, things that you're interested in, things that you want to do during the day, and it'll kind of put that stuff in line for you, show you the wait times for those things. So the update of that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But getting into and you can also Dave, tell them about what you saw on Disney Genie, not the Plus yet. We'll get into the Plus in just a minute.
Yeah,
but
we'll get
what
into
about
that.
Disney Genie? Like, what were you able to do new?
So it's very similar to the My Disney experience. Yeah, it's very similar to the My Disney experience, except the biggest difference is, like Nate was talking about, where you can come up and create like your favorite rides, and it will primarily it will I can't remember the word right now. It will drive more towards the things you want to do, give you the wait times for what you want to do, and give you an idea of when the best time to go to that ride is as a standby. If you're talking rides or any other event or thing, if you want a specific restaurant, it'll start pulling up the reservations that are available for that particular restaurant. If you have a favorite, it'll just bounce it into your feed. I did find that I went crazy at first and started liking all this stuff, and then it became so that it made all of that my priority, and I wasn't seeing a lot of the other stuff I kind of like or want to at least know what the wait, like what's the wait time at Pooh? Well, Pooh is great, and my kids love Pooh, but it wasn't on my particular feed, so I would have to go back. I still found myself though bouncing over to the map and just pulling up wait times. And
just looking at it as a whole. That's usually what I do too. And I will say some of the things that I saw, because I was able to get on a couple of rides this week, even though getting there later in the afternoon, like jumping on Haunted Mansion, the ride broke down in line, and I was watching the wait times, and then the star came up, and that's when I was like, oh no, it broke down. And I would say that within 30 seconds of the ride actually coming back up, like seeing people moving in line, that star went from star to, I think it was like 55 minutes or whatever it was. So I will say that I feel that has been improved, just getting the wait times down, getting the, if a ride goes down, it comes back up pretty close. Seems like you have to have your phone in your hand 24/7. I think you have to do that anyway, even if it was just my Disney experience.
But it's
if
true.
you want to wait times, or if you're looking for restaurants and things like that, you have to have it in your hand because things change like that. But now
it's constant. It really is, and it's fairly accurate. I would say, where before it was like 50-50, sometimes you'd pick it up. Now it's within about 70 to 80%. The line time that you see is what you're going to experience, and not always for the better.
Can I add something too onto this?
Of course
you can.
Yeah. So one thing that I've noticed, just because I actually have a couple friends that were part of the beta testing for Genie Plus, because they tested it over at Animal Kingdom first before they tested it at the other parks. It's definitely going to take probably a couple months for them to gather data. And basically what they did was they designed an AI, a computer software that has its own brain that can use other algorithms to basically keep the wait times of all the lines at a semi-tolerable level. But what it also allows you to do is it also allows you to, because this is Disney's mentality, they're a business, they got to make money. The way they look at it is the less time you're spending in line means more time you're spending out by the shop, spending money, buying merchandise and stuff like that. Yep. So if they can get you to, the fast passes, or the what are they called, the lightning lane stuff now.
Lightning lane, yep.
The price of it is determined on demand for the day, kind of like how Universal does theirs. The more expensive it is, the less people are going to spend on that. Now, they're either going to make money because people are like, screw it, I'm going to spend the $15, $20, whatever on this fast pass, or I'm going to go shop in the shop over here and spend $150 on merchandise.
Right.
Well, we can talk about the lightning stuff in a little bit.
What I'm saying is that the Genie Plus, it's going to take a little while for it to completely get, I'd say, organized and be completely like on the ball. They just have to gather more data. The algorithms have to work their ways in, but they will get there. It'll be a hell of a lot better.
Well, yeah. As a first first time user, like because I was there the day it launched,
Yep.
And we did Plus, and I'll if you're ready, I mean I can talk about that, but
I just want to preempt this with saying that Dave was texting me every 4 seconds, like, here's what's happening, here's what we got going on, this is blah, but I'll let you fill in the blah.
In some ways, the Plus, like, the expectation of Plus, I think, is different than the reality of Plus. And if you can set that were you okay there, Zach? I'm seeing some faces.
Sprite and gin don't go get together.
No. You could do seltzer with some lime and gin. You got ginger ale?
Peru.
I'm out of that. I drank my last one. I left my other one at the Airbnb. All I have is Sprite.
Oh man,
it tastes like a pine cone and ass.
Ginger ale. Oh damn! What's up, Manny? Manny was at the Halloween con today over in Orlando. So that was pretty cool. I'm sure he had a blast at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Plus thing.
So go ahead, Dave.
No, what the way I got it felt like when you're signing up for Plus, you should be able to go pretty rapid fire through your lightning lanes and be able to book stuff. But that's not what the reality is. That's not the reality.
But hold on, Dave, because we haven't said anything about Plus yet. Like, so you want to get Disney? You want to get not Disney Plus, Genie Plus. You want to get Genie Plus? You go in and you do what?
No, well, first of all, you go on the app, and the app gives you the option of do you want to go into Genie Plus, and it costs. It actually gives you up before you even get to that page. It's going to ask you if you want to sign up for these individual rides, the special rides of the day through Genie Plus, where you have to spend. For example, what was it at Rise of Resistance? I think it was $15. $15, and Mickey's Runaway.
Like 8?
Was 8,
right? So that's per ride, per person, plus
per
tax,
time,
and that
plus tax per time.
Per time. So you only get to go once, and that's plus the $15 per person per day for the Genie Plus. Now you don't have to book it for your entire
no.
Right?
Nate, I'm sorry. Let me correct you. You can buy the special ride without buying the full plus.
Right. The plus gives you all the other rides.
Correct. If we'll talk about that.
All the non-e-ticket rides.
Correct.
Right. You need to buy a separate ticket for Runaway and Rise at Hollywood.
Right.
I mean, we can tell you which ones.
Hollywood Studios. All right, let's just take Hollywood Studios for example now, because I mean, there's a bunch of rides. There's Rock and Roller Coaster. There's Tower of Terror. There's a bunch of them. Toy Story Mania. Alien Swirling Sausage, which is what my 4-year-old calls it. And Slinky Dog. So you get regular Genie. You're at Hollywood Studios. You want to ride? I was really just gonna keep going with it. Be like, you want to ride Ass? You want to ride, Toy Story Mania? So those aren't going to cost you extra. That's just, you can just go get in line for those. But
you can get in standby line.
Right, but if you do Genie Plus, man, this Disney Plus and Genie Plus, man, they got to stop the pluses. If you do Genie Plus, you can go into the Lightning Lane for Alien Swirling Saucers and Toy Story Mania. From what correct me if I'm wrong, without paying, but only if you have Genie Plus.
Only if you have Genie Plus and you have booked it. This is where it gets to be a little bit off-putting. Right. So right from the start, you can get on all these Lightning Lanes, but you have to book the time, and it allows you to book one at a time. And it will not allow you to book another ride until after you have scanned your badge into the second checkpoint. Because remember, there's 2 checkpoints where you badge in on a Lightning Lane or formerly on any of the Fast Pass lanes.
Fast Pass.
Right. So you go in a Lightning Lane, they scan your badge. Then you go to the second checkpoint, you scan your badge. At that point, you can pull up whatever next ride you want to do and book that next ride. Now, this is where it gets...
We're talking about Genie or
Genie Plus.
Plus? Okay,
no, we're talking about Genie Plus. The way I found Genie Plus, to kind of give you an example, to cite it back to something that we're all familiar with, it's similar to a Fast Pass in the sense that you are booking a time when you will show up at that ride and be able to ride it, and you get a 1-hour window with a few minutes on either side of that hour, just in case. Yep. But what you're doing is you can't book, where Fast Passes you were allowed to book like 3 rides. This you can only book 1 at a time. But
also, if we're going to go down that road, when there was Fast Pass, because I don't want people to think that this is the replacement for Fast Pass, because it's totally different.
No, I was trying.
Pass, you could select 3 rides and select the time of those rides, as long as they didn't overlap on a time. So if your window was 8:15 to 9:15 or 9:15 to 10:15, you could then book 10:15 or 10:20. Let's just say we'll do it on the 5s. 10:20 to 11:20 for your next ride, and then 11:30 to 12:30 for your next ride, so long as it was available. With Genie Plus, that's not the case, correct?
Well, it could be if you can get through a line fast enough and you happen to go to the next line and it's available that fast, you could.
Right. But I'm saying 60 days out. No,
you can't book 60 days out anymore. That's not what we're talking about, right? That's not like a Fast Pass.
Well, that's why I don't want people to get confused that this is new. I think this is a shoddy system. Just from what I've seen, I think it's shoddy. But you're going to give us more in depth.
Yeah, this is why the Disney. One thing about the Genie Plus too. So you have to wait until your second check-in, that second checkpoint, in order to be able to sign up for your next ride that you want to do. Now, everybody's signing up at the same time for all these rides. So the more popular rides are getting pushed later and later. For example, we went in and we went on the first ride. The next ride that would have been cool to do was like Jungle Cruise, but we saw it wasn't going to be until like a little later, and we could get something else earlier, like I don't remember, not Space Mountain, because that was a premium. Let's say Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain. Okay, gotcha. So we go on Splash Mountain, come off Splash Mountain, and suddenly we look at Jungle Cruise. And now Jungle Cruise is now the next booking time is in the evening. Okay,
right. So I remember you were looking at like 3 o'clock or quarter to 3
Right.
And I think your time was like 6:40.
It was 6:30 to 7:30, and that's why we said let's just go to Trader Sam's for a little while. Kungaloosh drinking with you, bro.
Kungaloosh, brother. That was a good time.
So yeah, we sat on the patio and then actually made it inside barely in time to do one drink, and then made it to our last little minutes of Jungle Cruise. I almost remember that Jungle Cruise ride. That was. Did you do straight shots of Hendrix again?
No, it's Sprite and gin. It's so nasty. Who would do this? I don't have.
Do you have like Mio? Do you have Mio or anything that you can add to that?
I do.
There you go. Cover the gin.
Fruit punch. Let's try it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Fruit punch and gin is gonna make you do this.
Do you have any grenadine? For the love of God, get some grenadine at least. No,
yeah.
Can you imagine grenadine and Sprite? Oh my God, so much sugar.
Oh no, that's called the Shirley Temple.
No, Pat.
What are you talking about?
Pat, actually, that's not bad. Do it Fresca and gin.
Oh, Fresca,
I can see where that would be good.
Great gin, let's go, Mio.
Oh man.
All
right. So you get my point about the Genie Plus is that it is staggering, and as the day's going on, all those ride times are getting pushed later and later.
Every minute, I'm sure.
Right, because all the premium rides are going to book out, like Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
And the lesser rides, while initially they were okay, they're booking out too. So it got to be. We put it akin to like what really Genie Plus gets you is about 3 to 5 rides extra, but besides the standby times. The standby times weren't awful for the most part.
I don't know, man. I was watching them. I mean, I was seeing some pretty rough times.
I experienced a really rough time. We decided that we did Genie Plus, regular Genie Plus on our one Magic Kingdom day, and we did not do it on the second Magic Kingdom day, and just did standby. Most of the standby lines we could plot, even the premium ones. So just so you guys know, the Magic Kingdom premium rides that you have to pay for outside of Genie Plus are Space Mountain and 7D.
Seven Doors, yep.
Right. So Space Mountain, we were able to get on. We saw it drop to like 35 minutes, got in line, and banged it out. It was not bad.
Right.
We did that with a lot of rides that you just didn't need to Genie Plus it because you were watching where the times were going, and it just made sense to get in line. We got burned one time, and I think I texted you this one, Nate. I was in a grumbly mood at this point.
Seven Dwarfs?
That before then. For Jungle Cruise, which I'm so glad I did during the day. We can talk about that, but in a sec. What?
Hold on. Let's just catch up with Darren. So there are rides you can't do unless you have Genie Plus. No, you can do all the rides all the time.
Ride.
It's just lightning lane.
Right. You can do
booking lightning lane.
So, and most of the time,
because you have Genie Plus, you can't just walk up to lightning lane and get in.
No,
you have to
register
book that ride, register that ride. And the only two that you have to pay for in Magic Kingdom are Space Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The other ones you can book. I want to go in the Lightning Lane for Haunted Mansion because Haunted Mansion is 55 minutes, which is never 55 minutes, by the way. If it says 55 minutes, unless your line goes almost to Frontierland, and I don't care if you're all the way through Liberty Square, that doesn't matter. You can be past the ferry boat and still get in less than an hour, just so you know. But it allows you to, book, go through the Lightning Pass lane, walk all the way to almost all the way to the front. It's the Fast Pass lane. They just wrote Lightning instead of Fast Pass.
The difference is really what you're looking at is basically, do you have to, with Genie Plus, you can go into those Lightning lanes. With Genie Plus, you can get the premium Lightning lane for the premium rides, but you can always do standby to get into anything.
Of course, without paying anything. I didn't even
paying anything extra.
Genie. I didn't even load Genie when I was there, and I went on a couple of rides. I mean, I went to Hollywood Studios and went on Alien Swirling Saucers. I did Toy Story Mania. I didn't wait in any line for more than Alien Swirling Saucers was 15 minutes. Toy Story Mania was maybe 30, maybe.
Yeah, most of the lines, if you watch the wait time things, like I said, and it's pretty accurate. Most of the lines go from about 30 minutes up to 65 to 70 minutes for some of that great ones, like Slinky Dog was running around 70.
Yeah, so 80,
Rock and
90,
Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster was running at somewhere between 50 and 70
50,
for most of the time.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was seeing too.
The what am I looking at? Sorry, I kind of lost my Jungle Cruise. I got burned on. I think what happened was it said 55 minutes, and a lot of people saw 55-minute Jungle Cruise. We'll go to the standby, and we hit it hard. Now, hold on, Pat. I'll tell you in just a second. But when we did Jungle Cruise, one thing we were noticing is that even if there was a giant flood of lightning lane people, they would let every lightning lane person on in lieu and not mingle it the way they used to do for like Fast Pass. Remember, Nate, that you'd let like 5 or 10 Fast Pass people through, and then they'd let the other people in. But when the lightning lanes, people are getting put on before any other standby goes. So if you get 20 people all in the light, which is rare, but if you get 20 people all in that lightning lane, they're going to put those 20 people on the ride before anybody in the standby goes. So there were some times when the standby was just at a standstill.
Right. So Disney's math, the way that they used to do it for the Fast Pass system, and I know this because my one of my best friends, Lauren, she used to work Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and she actually told us what the algorithm, or not, I don't want to say algorithm, but the math was. Basically, they were told as cast members back in the Fast Pass system, for every 10 families that come through the Fast Pass, you let in one standby family. That's the way that it used to work. Now it could have changed now. But again, like I said, going back before, it's going to take a little while for the computer system to kind of judge these algorithms and figuring out. The whole point of Genie Plus and the whole Genie system is for, let's say, families like Nate's or Dave, even yours, since you're from out of state. You come down here, you put in there, I want to go to this ride, this ride, this ride, and this ride. It's gonna compare you with 10,000 other families that are at the park that day. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell you when you should, it's going to give you recommendations. You should go to Peter Pan at this time, and it's going to tell other families to go to Pirates of the Caribbean at this time. And what it does is keep all the lines within a normal, most people don't want to be standing in line for more than about an hour. After that, you get bored and stuff. So they're trying
for
to
a ride you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I agree. That's what it's trying to do, is to guide where you go for standby. But I think that to go in, it gave you the impression that if I bought Genie Plus, I could pretty much get every ride in the park for that day. And that is a mistake to think like that. That's where I was trying to say. At
the beginning,
you need to lower your expectation and know that what you're actually going to do is maybe save the time to get on the rides that you want to get on.
Right.
And that will be a benefit when you get that. Now, I will say that
let's
go ahead.
I think this is Joe right here who said, yes, that's what I was watching at Rock and Roller Coaster. All the lightning people went on, and that's bullshit. Now, I mean, yes, I understand that from a standby line point of view, but if I paid $15 or $8, $10, if I paid any money to get on a ride, I want to get on before you because I paid for that service. That's all. And I mean, I don't think it's rude. I understand the frustration. Look, I know how big that line gets. That line goes almost all the way to Tower of Terror sometimes. I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it snake back and forth 300 times and go all the way out there. I saw it go up to up Sunset before. When COVID was really doing, they were doing that 6-foot rule. I saw it all the way up Sunset. So I get it, but those people paid not only $15 no, not necessarily $15, but $8 per person per ride. Let's say that's the family of 5 that wanted to go on Rock and Roller Coaster. They paid $40, or $50 to go on that ride.
Well, it cost me to do Genie Plus. Remember, I'm family of 4, so that was $60 a day plus tax.
Just for the day, right? So that's your $60 plus tax for the day. That just gets you the ability to book non-premium rides, okay, which would take up your premium ride that you would have to pay for anyway. So let's take we'll go back to Magic Kingdom, for example. So you wanted to ride Seven Dwarfs, you wanted to ride Haunted Mansion, you wanted to ride I'm trying to think of what would take a while. Peter Pan or Pooh is usually,
Peter Pan is always,
Peter Pan is, and I don't understand because that's the shortest ride there is in all of the parks. That ride takes 8 seconds from getting on to getting off the ride.
It's the ultimate nostalgia ride.
You know what's really funny is that, Nate, it's actually one of the longest rides. It
Peter
is.
Pan? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You been on Haunted Mansion?
Hey, Pat.
No,
So
no, it's definitely one of the longest original rides that are at the park.
That's about right, Darren. 3 months for it to gather everything, and also remember that they're sending out surveys immediately. Dave got his survey, and we're not going to say what he said about it. It's bullshit.
No,
but
I actually tried to make very constructive comments.
You know, there's been so many things that Disney has done. You know, even little stuff like didn't bring back the noodles at Ohana. You know what I mean? And everybody flipped out and they signed a petition, and within a week, noodles were back at Ohana. So we got to give them time. I know Dave actually got to do it the best way. He got to do it the day one to get that frustration through. And Dave's one of the most patient people. He's a doctor. I use patient because it's funny. One of the most patient people that I know. But yet, you know, I was, you know, him and I were getting frustrated at each other, texting back and forth one day.
Well, you were trying to placate me in a way that I wasn't willing to be placated at that time.
I know, and I was just like, "But you've got to," and he's like, "I don't," and I'm sitting in the back, and I hate everything. And I'm leaving the park.
So one of the things I was mad about, he caught me when one of the things I was mad about was, so we did Genie Plus regular one day, and then one day we did only the premium things. We did one premium ride, and that was 7D at Magic Kingdom. And there were so many people that were doing 7D premium ride Lightning at the time we went that we actually had a little, like a 10 or 15 minute wait to get on at that time. That wasn't that big a deal. I was just a little surprised, and that was fine. What surprised me was, I don't know about you, but I request my daughter almost always on a roller coaster wants to sit in the back row. She feels like it's the faster row. It gives you more. I get it. It's kind of fun to have the more of the drop than the hang.
It's the opposite of wanting to be on an airplane.
Yeah. So we always request the back row, and after paying our super premium price to get on Seven Dwarfs, after waiting in a little longer than we thought for paying our price in Seven Dwarfs, we got there and said, "Can we please have the back row?" And they're like, "We're not taking any requests. We're just moving people through the line."
Right.
And I actually almost pulled a 4-year-old where I just wanted to sit down and say, "I'm not moving from this site until I get my way," because I was really surprised by that. It's the very first time I've ever been told that I can't request a back row or a front row or something like that. And I was willing to wait for it. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, any big deal. It wasn't, you know, I get that there's usually a line for a special request. Okay. But that really turned me off.
Right. I mean, like I can tell you also, again, and this is completely dependent on the cast member as well. But again, from a cast member standpoint, I can tell you from knowing people, especially on the ride that you were talking about, that ever since Disney has opened back up from COVID, they have been told no longer are we doing this, and basically indefinitely. There's no longer requests now. They can still, it's up to their discretion if they want to do it. If it's a super busy day and we don't want to deal with this shit, they're going to tell you, no, we're not taking requests. If it's a nice dead day, though, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to care. You might have just caught them on a bad day, but they are technically not supposed to take requests.
Now, let me follow that up. Getting them on a bad day, on a huge bad day, because they don't know. Like, you got to understand, Disney is open 7 days a week, and it is open from anywhere from 7 a.m., 8 a.m. when they let people in early until 9, 10 o'clock at night. And then by the time everybody gets out, so give them an hour on each. Right. When are you going to train these people on how to do this? When? No.
Oh, man. I saw people. Yep.
They didn't tell. I mean, they knew it was coming. They didn't know when it's going to happen because they know it'll hit social media and everybody be like, oh, it happens tomorrow. And then sometimes it gets leaked. I get that. But they didn't know how to deal with it. I saw
cast members are
people
always
standing
the last. Cast members are, and like I'm telling you this from a cast member and a house full of cast members here. Cast members are literally the last ones to know about any changes that happen. You guys know us as guests now, because I'm a guest now. I'm not a cast member anymore. As a guest, I usually know about changes that happen before the cast members ever know about shit. And that sucks. Sure. It does, because the cast members right now, the ones that are working 7 days a week of mandatory overtime, every single one of them, they're the ones that have to deal with the upset Karens and everything like that at the parks.
Yeah.
It's not fair to them. It's
Of
really
course.
not.
And that's why I didn't pull the 4-year-old and sit down. Honestly, I saw the frustration.
Because you're a grown adult.
No, I'm not an adult when I'm at Disney. I'm not.
Hold on. And you know what? I'll never be an adult, and I'm never growing up. I don't care what you say, Peter Pan.
I am not growing up ever.
Let's get Pat real quick. Would you recommend 3 to 5 rides to be your favorite? Now, I wouldn't. I would say put all your favorites in, because there's going to be times that things are going to change. You're going to see a wait time for one, and go ahead, Dave.
I know, I agree with you on that. Just know that you're going to, when you put a bunch of favorites in like that, if there's an off chance you want to do something that is not listed on your favorites, you might have to go manually to look at that wait time or look at.
Right. You have to pull up the map and blow it out. Yeah.
Now, but if you want to prioritize stuff and be able to see it, really see it, and be notified of when there's a good time of when to go. Because it would say, it would come up and say, hey, now's a good time to go on Jungle Cruise. And then it would say wait time high,
Right.
But that's because it's always high. Especially with some of the new revisions.
Movie. Like I want to touch on that for a minute, because obviously everybody knows that Dave and I love Jungle Cruise. It's one of my favorite rides of all time. I appreciate the fact that the cast members get to put their own personality on it. And yes, I know that they do that.
I had such an amazing. I'm going to give a shout out to Alex, the skipper. She was incredible. She was amazing. Nice.
Alex, the skipper. Skipper Alex.
Alex.
Dave's day.
I actually put her in my comment. Like every time I go, we try to write in people.
Cast member compliments.
She's one of the cast member compliments that we have on our list to compliment.
So apparently that's not just on Twitter anymore either. Cast member compliments is also on Instagram now, I believe. You can hashtag cast member compliments.
There's also, you can just email them too, and they get it.
Above and beyond for you. Bache?
There's no doubt. Yeah, it got greenlit. It got greenlit right away.
First of all, The Rock's jokes in that are amazing, but also just the ride itself. Like I was saying, they give the opportunity, for them to kind of like put their own spin on it, put their own personality, and none of the other rides have that. You get on Haunted Mansion, they're told act solemn, act, this way, morbid, all that kind of stuff. When you get on Jungle Cruise, you're talking about, the elephant being the stepmother. There's the backside of water.
There was some good stuff,
but they really do go for it. Yeah, love the joke. Yeah, and even The Rock did a great job, I think.
And he did a great job delivering some of the classic jokes.
Yep.
Like some of the jokes that we hear every time that we just love to hear.
Yeah, but he had some good ones, and I would love to hear those incorporated somehow. On the ride, especially with the snake and stuff like that. But he said do. Did I say I do? I have a list of employees to thank recently. Fache Book, please put them up here. We do have a lot of cast members that do watch the show. We are friends, obviously. Zach being an ex-cast member, and oh my gosh, everybody said do. Zach even said that was you who said that.
That's all I want to say to you.
Dad joke goals. There you go.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt is Bay. Okay, Emily Blunt is Bay.
You're Bay.
I don't know what Bay. Is that one of those like
Bay before all else? Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. No,
I don't know.
She's a celebrity crush. Emily Blunt is. Oh yeah.
There you go.
She's quite lovely.
All right, so Dave,
on
a scale of 1 to I'm never using this again, where you sit?
I'll give it a shot.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Before Dave, before you give your grade on this, understand that this grade that you're giving is knowing that Disney just released this. There are bugs. There are things that need to be worked out. It's going to take
example,
months.
One thing that I really hope they do, because I could see it coming together better. I see things working.
By the way,
better.
Fruit Punch was a good idea with the gin. It tastes good.
Nice.
There you go.
So, for example, we did the special experience or the premium cost to get into Runaway Railway, and it was a incredibly smooth experience to do that. You got the full queue, you got to do everything. It was a good example. Doing the Genie Plus was a good example to know firsthand is this working? Is this not working? One thing I really hope what they allow you to do is at least book two at a time, where you can leapfrog them after that. I think that would make some of the frustration that we encountered, that second badging, that feeling like I'm chained to a park to get to what I want to see. Right. Using the Disney Plus, Genie Plus after I paid my money to use it.
Right. Okay. I get
then
it. But hear me
if
out.
I get that, if they can do that, that would be great.
Hear me out. Okay. I understand that they took away Fast Pass and that was awesome. And that was great and everything like that. Do the paid service. That's fine. I understand it. I get it. Everybody does it. Every single person does it. Okay. You want to go to Universal? You want to go on rides first? Get the Express Pass? It's almost the same exact amount as going there for a day. Right. Right? That's fine. But give us back what we had. Give us back our 3 Fast Passes. Have us pay $15 each for them. I get it.
Kind of my point.
You know, I'm not with it, but I get it. You know what I mean? But that's
kind of my point.
Don't make us pay more. No. I'm not saying it's your point. I'm just saying in my own mind, just give me back what we had and make us pay for it. That's fine. Make us pay for it. You add Fast Pass. Just give me my 3 rides and I'll pay the $7, $8, $12, $15. But give us what we could do.
Yeah.
Let us book our times. A lot of us have kids. You know what I mean? Our kids don't want to be at a park for 14 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like we have to do other things.
Exactly. That's kind of my point. You get chained in.
Hoppers.
Now, It felt like you got chained in, but what I realized was it was just a feeling, and that we could have said, you know what, we're going to go, we paid the Genie Plus, we're going to do this ride. We're not going to book the rest of the day there, and I'm going to go to the next, I'm going to go over to the next park.
That's Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next replacing one after one is used. Starting with 2 and replacing one after one is used.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Pat.
I was
like
looking
what
for
I'm
a
saying.
You definitely would feel more like a perk. Yeah, absolutely.
It would then would feel like something I'm paying for, where it's like, okay, I booked out, and you can constantly be able to leapfrog to the next ride and feel like there's a sense of flow instead of these stagnation periods. And I think that they did that. They with the idea that people would get in the standby line while you were waiting for your next Disney Plus or Genie Plus ride to come active.
And we're drinking. You got to help here, man. You got to.
I'm working hard. I'm working really hard. But I think that would make it. You're right, Pat. Feel like the perk that we are buying something.
I'm telling you, just if they bring it back to 3, the 3 now, and make us pay for it, that's fine.
What's interesting though is like I think that you're going to end up with the combo like Ratatouille. Isn't Ratatouille? No, Ratatouille is not a premium, is it? It's only the virtual queue, and that's it. I can't remember if there's.
I thought you could pay for Remy.
Can you pay for Remy? I can't remember because we didn't. We just did the virtual queue.
Sure, and you know what?
And the virtual queue is still available.
Then give everything virtual queue. Just let Zach brought up a great point. And he was Zach loves giraffes. That's awesome. You bring up a great point. You want to make more money? Do everything virtual queue. That'll cut your standby lines in half. Okay, literally in half.
Well, so the whole reason I brought that up too was because when I mean you guys weren't here for it, but I was when Universal and Disney both opened back up, when they opened right back up from COVID. Disney went with the park reservation system, but with no virtual queues for the rides, whereas Universal went with no reservation system, but virtual queues for the rides. They didn't want people standing in line for 30 minutes, huddled up and everything like that, so they made virtual queues. It worked very well for Universal, but what didn't work very well for Universal was not having reservation system, because you had a lot of people that would come down from COVID with a reduced capacity. They would buy tickets and then not be able to get into the park. So that was why Disney, honestly, I like the way they did it a little bit better. But I think that the ride, the whatever you want to call it, the virtual queues, I think those are so much better, because again, this falls into Disney's, money thing, where if you do virtual queue, people are going to sit in the park and they're going to go shopping while they wait for their queue.
Exactly. It gives them something to do. standing in line, if there's no candy stripper walking around or striper walking around, you're not making money. You know what I mean? You're just standing there for 55 minutes, or an hour, or 80 minutes, or All right, so I mean, so a ride like Haunted Mansion, because of how much it snakes down those ropes, once you get through that threshold, you're doing nothing. Okay, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting anything. With Toy Story Slinky Dog, excuse me. When you're standing in that line, there's a place to get the Slinky Dog ears that you can get. There's ice cream there. There's beverages and things. Those carts are along the line, along the route line, which but that's really the only one, right? Because I mean, Jungle Cruise, there's nothing. I mean, there's cool stuff to look at. I take a lot of pictures while I'm in that queue.
There's a lot of fun stuff. And some of the queues are definitely developed to enjoy your time. I mean, look at Peter Pan's new queue. You go through the Darling House. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I like that queue.
Remy's is cool once you get inside, but there's really not that much. You go inside that one little artist room. Then you go into the room where you're outside and you see the chef singing up top, and then you're kind of like in a cave. And then, but when you get into the room where the Remy rides, where the mouse or mice cars are, that's like a cool looking room. That's a cool looking room because you walk up, those things come sliding up. You know what I mean? And that's an attention grabber. But yeah, Haunted Mansion, when you're in the outside. So Haunted Mansion, I don't know if you saw it, Dave, but Haunted Mansion opened up their outside standby queue again, where you can touch the instrument or wave your hand in front of the instruments. That's what people don't understand. You don't have to touch it.
Yeah,
there are beams all around it in a square. You just wave by it. And so all that stuff's back as well. You can push the books and the other books pop out, stuff like that. So something interactive. But then, once you get inside, you're in the stretching room, and then you walk pretty much so we were in the stretching room, the door opened and there was no one. That room was empty. We walked literally right onto the ride, which I don't think I've ever done before. But I thought that was pretty cool. So what was your favorite ride experience? Doesn't have to be Genie Plus related. What was your favorite ride experience when you were down here this week?
My second Jungle Cruise ride.
Okay.
I think I can say that without reservation because I had a great skipper and I was able to. The first Jungle Cruise ride was a night ride, which are really fun. It's fun to have the night ride, but the difference was the night ride. I had like an NPR skipper. He was very calm. I mean, it wasn't like the usual skipper that I'm used to, and also it was my first time riding now that all the camouflage is down and we get to see what they did for Trader Sam's, what they did,
the new characters,
the new scenes, all that stuff. So I didn't appreciate that at much at night. And then during the day, really seeing it, oh my God, there were some great jokes coming in on the one boat that's been taken over by the monkeys. It's hilarious, I don't want to spoil any of the jokes, like I would actually remember them anyway. But the point is that I was able to really appreciate the Jungle Cruise this time. I rode rides that I didn't have as enjoyable time was like I said, on 7D. I don't know if you guys noticed my new hat that I got to thank Disney for.
Yes. Tell everybody about that experience. So again, this is going to be one of those reasons why you go to Disney. This is absolutely a Disney reason.
So I go on Splash Mountain.
Getting drunk. Yep.
I'm what? Are we doing shots?
Besides, I said, let's do a shot. We might as well. It's 40
minutes. I was about to say that. We haven't took a drink in a while.
Wait, okay. I've been doing it. But all right, this shot is in honor of my previous hat.
May your hat rest in peace.
I can't wait till you hear this.
So I'm on Splash Mountain.
Oh. Oh God, that gin.
I love the Zach sound effects. Priceless.
Oh, Oh man, that'll put hair on your chest right there. Woo!
We're on Splash Mountain. I'm wearing my usual hat from Real. There's a company called Real Brazil. They do recycled Brazilian rainforest tarps. Basically, it's all these canvas tarps, and they make them into hats and bags and all kinds of cool stuff. I've had this hat for years, since the kids were little, and it was like cool. It was bent the right way,
folded over. Yeah,
it was my adventure hat. I called it my Disney adventure hat.
Yeah, it had the big old lip right in the front right here.
It did. It had like the dip. It had looked like I could wear it at a country concert and all. So I go over, and I'm wearing that hat, and they're like, you sit down, and they even say, watch your hat. And I'm like, I always leave my hat on until we get into the ride, after we go up the hill and into the ride, because inevitably there's like a glare that just flashes my eyes, and I usually don't have my sunglasses on. So I keep my my hat on. And my daughter, as we're going up through the sawmill part, she's like, have you ever looked up? And I'm like, no. And I look up, and the back of the ride hits the back of my the back of my hat, and we're in the last row, and I watch my hat tumble away down and get sucked underneath the flume behind me. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll see what happens at the end of the ride. At the end of the ride, I go to the cast member, and I'm like, I lost my hat while we were riding. And they were like, yeah, it's gone. I'm like, well, I can wait. Isn't there like a filtration system? Can I like it? No, it goes into a reservoir. It will sit there for months. It will get macerated by all the equipment, and then you will get it back in shreds. You don't want it. I was like, I don't know what to say about that. I'm going to keep walking. And I walked out, and there was a collection of other cast members, and I'm a little bummed. And I walked up to him and I said, I know the answer you're going to tell me, but I have to ask it anyway in the hopes that you're going to give me a different answer. I lost my hat on the ride. And they were like, it's gone. It's going to a reservoir. It will be macerated. There will be mold growing on it. It will be half eaten by creatures that live down there and have been created by weird evolution. And but one of them was a yellow shirt, and he's like, look, this is my ride, and I'm so sorry that you had a bad time on my ride or something happened. I'm like, I didn't have a bad time, and it was my fault. He's like, but you had an issue. Clearly this hat meant a lot to you. Let me get you a voucher for a new hat. So, Caitlin, it was Splash Mountain. So he's like, let me get you a voucher for a new hat. And I'm like, okay, but you should know that this is wait, Caitlin was working at Splash Mountain?
No, she's working right now.
Yeah,
okay.
She's in the ER right now.
Gotcha. All right. That's what I thought. All right. Anyway, so the guy goes and gets me a voucher for a new hat. And of course, what he didn't realize though is that this was a very particular hat. Like, and I know that Disney has had this style of hat to find. And, but I don't know, Nate, Zach, if you've noticed this, the merch at Disney has kind of thinned out a lot. It's not
went down in quality.
It's what?
It's went down in quality since they've outsourced, but it's still, it's still there.
Well, yes and no. Like there used to be a lot of other types of hats besides baseball hats and visors.
Right.
And I couldn't find anything. I went to 3 different parks and couldn't find anything I liked. Finally, I found this hat at Animal Kingdom, actually, at the
Dave's
not the
blowing
park.
my phone up with pictures. He's like, "What about this hat? What about this hat? What about this?"
No,
hat?
I found this hat. Well, I found this hat at Jumbo House at their store. Somebody tipped me off that there was a bunch there.
So Caitlin just said yellow shirts are for coordinators. Them and managers are the only ones allowed to give those no strings vouchers now. Back when I was in merch, she used to work merchandise. She was allowed to give out those no strings merch.
Yeah, and that guy, and I appreciated what he was doing. And I mean, it took me a lot to find this hat, and I was so happy when I finally found it. And I didn't try to take advantage of the system. I really feel bad that this hat was.
No, you lost your hat. It meant a lot to you.
But this hat ended up being like the one I ended up getting to replace it, which I love. I called this one the G'day. Because I was sending him, like, I found a pith helmet. I almost got the pith helmet because they didn't have this one in my size, and then somebody checked him back. I found a white fedora that looked like so if you're a big Raiders of the Lost,
can't imagine you in a fedora.
Well, it was like do you remember the Belloc in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the evil archaeologist?
Yeah.
It was his hat. It was a hat like his. So I tried it on and I literally sent to Nate, what do you think of this one? The evil archaeologist? and then there was a Panama hat. There was a Panama hat that looked like it should be selling cocaine in Miami. And then there was this one. And if this one didn't exist, I would have gotten the pith helmet and I would have just chalked it up to another like Jungle Cruise thing.
So on Mine Train, actually, and Caitlin's listening, she'll tell you what a nightmare this day was. On Mine Train back in 2018, I was going up the first, so like right when you come down, like after you load into the carts, you go down and then you start going up that first chain hill.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
My vape. I was wearing a swimsuit that day because we were at the hotel or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, we were going to a hotel afterwards. I was wearing a swimsuit so I could just get it, not have to change. My pockets were slippery. In my pocket, on my right side, was my vape and my keys, which had my house keys and everything like that on that. They slipped out of my pocket. I just happened to be on the outside seat of Mine Train. So they slip out and go ting, ting, ting down the hill underneath the whole ride. Like they fell out of the cart underneath the ride. This is at like 2:00 in the afternoon. I get done with the ride. I tell them, I say, hey, I actually go and find my friend Lauren. And I say, hey, I had some shit fall out of my pocket. What's the likelihood of me getting it back? She goes, yeah, since Mine Train is like a, super popular ride, you got to wait until the park closes. So we look at the app and we find out that the park closes at 2 a.m. I have to
I have to
work at 4 a.m. So this has my house keys. And also at the time, I didn't have my car. I only had my wife and I were sharing a vehicle. So I had our Jeep keys. I had our house keys and everything on here. We ended up having to spend 12 hours in a damn park, more like 14 hours in the park with our niece, who's like 9 years old at the time.
Aww.
Yeah. They gave us a bunch of drink vouchers. Like I didn't even ask for this, but they gave us a bunch of not drink vouchers, meal vouchers, so for us to go to any restaurant we wanted. Oh God, Sean. To go to any restaurant we wanted. They were like, here, do you guys want like t-shirts and stuff? They gave us all this stuff. Finally, at about 3:00 in the morning, they finally found my keys. They never found my vape. Whatever. But
thank God you got your keys though.
Oh, dude. Especially because the lanyard that was on those keys was a Haunted Mansion lanyard. They only made 500 of at Disneyland. Yeah.
See, that's why Disney's awesome, because they find your shit for you.
They find your stuff. They give you stuff, and they appreciate when you've had something bad. They do try to make it. We've had a bad experience. Can we change?
Tears, man. No tears, Dave. If you would have started crying, they would have made your world.
Yeah, I would have gotten that back seat, but no. But I gotta say, it was great, and I do love this hat. So I had to wear it on the stream tonight.
I mean, it does look good on you. I like it a lot.
Surprisingly, it's got like venting on the sides, and
keep that hair cool. You got a lot of hair up there, bro.
I do. It's a mop.
Yeah.
It's
so
truly
we have
a mop.
1 minute left, and I just want to jump off of Disney for 1 second, the Disney topic for 1 second, because we did dedicate a bunch because it's Drunk Disney Dads. Zach and I were able to go to Aku this afternoon, and we had the bartender Chris. So Chris, huge shout out to you, man. I mean, you took it to the next level today. I didn't order anything on the menu. I let him develop all of my drinks, and Chris used to be the beverage. What was it? Beverage something.
Alchemist.
No, it was like a proper, like, here's what I do. I am a beverage, not supervisor, but like the beverage caretaker, I'm going to say, at Suffering Bastard. He left there 6 months ago, and now he's at Aku, and I couldn't be happier. Every time I went up to him, I said, you make whatever you want. So then Zach jumped on board as well. And I was just like, just make us whatever you want. And he'd be like, Okay, 2. The guy does. I'm not sure he can smile. His face is all the time, but he would turn around and go, and then just start grabbing bottles and be like,
mad at me, man. Like that's just his personality.
Thanks, Joe.
But man,
so
I am looking forward to going on Tuesday, bro. I'm looking forward.
But he every time, this is how he pours. He holds his little finger like this, and he pours in the.
Right, he is an alchemist with alcohol. That's what he is.
And then like legit, and everything was like. Yeah. I remember one of the drinks was called the Tuscan Toucan. The other one was a play on a Bahama Mama, but in Mai Tai style. Like I was like, that
drink was so good. The cinnamon at the end of it was so good.
Yeah, there were flavor profiles that were happening. So you'd have the drink, it would taste great up front. You'd taste the liquor, and then all of a sudden there was like a back end on it. And you're like, and he always tasted everyone. He always took a straw, dipped it into your drink, tasted it, and threw the straw away. And he would go, or he'd be like, all right, yeah, like this is good. So I just wanted to give him a huge shout out.
10 out of 10
hands
is
down.
my rating.
Hands down, one of the best mixologists I've ever had a chance to drink from. And if you're in the Orlando area and you are going to take Lyft or Uber, because we do not condone drinking and driving, go to Aku Aku. You will not be disappointed, especially if he is working, and he will be working on Tuesday.
It's downtown Orlando, right next to Lake Eola.
Right now, I mean, you could spit into Lake Eola if walking out the door. Now you won't see Aku Aku. It is not this big tiki bar outside that has bamboo coming down in thatch that hangs over it. It looks like a small strip mall and a little door.
I mean, for anybody in the channel that is local, I can tell them exactly where it is. There's a Publix that's right next to Lake Eola. It's the roundabout. The singular roundabout circle that is right next to the Publix. It's in that roundabout right there.
Does it
and there is a Stardust. It says Stardust Lounge right next to it on the wall because that is their sister bar.
Amazing.
I was going to say, isn't it only seat like 10 people or something?
Like 20.
I think you can get 10 at the bar. Then there's the seats where we sat, which would accommodate 6 easily. There's a table of 4. There's a table for 2. There's a booth for 2, and then there's 3 tables of 4 to 6. So you can probably get 30 people in there. But when we were there was no more than, I mean, we were a party of 5 today, and I would say there was no more than 15 people in there at any point.
Yeah.
And the farmers market was going on outside, so I got a fresh coconut.
Well, you needed that.
The farmers market. Parking's terrible. Parking is terrible. I'll tell you that right now. It's horrible.
Wait, Zach, you needed the coconut because why? Did they not have enough glasses?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been an hour and 3 minutes. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I am Neverland Nate. This is Disney Dave, and that's Zach's room is dirty. Zach loves giraffes, and Zach stopped buying mugs. Hopefully, next weekend we can see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to make any promises, but maybe we can get Sean to reenact this, and maybe he should come on stream with this. I think next week. So
yeah.
With next Sunday is going to be our Tiki night again. So once a month we are doing Tiki nights. I'm going to be doing another mug giveaway. So make sure we'll put the details up for that either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to work on that this week, depending on how much time I have tomorrow to get stuff done. And I will tell you guys about my new license plate that I'm ordering tomorrow. But I don't want to say it yet because then somebody's going to go out and get it before me, and I can't let that happen. But
no, don't say anything.
It's going to be awesome. It says giraffes. That's what my license plate says. All right, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, everybody.